My fish fam! We're back playing Modern Merfolk, but it's a completely different world because they've completely changed the rules to Urza Saga. Saga, you gonna get big? There we go. There we go. Urza Saga. If you're not familiar with the rules right now, if you play a Harbinger of the Seas, which would remove the chapter abilities from Urza Saga, not only will it not blow up anymore, because the old rule was if there are as many the lore counters. If there are equal or more lore counters on Urza Saga than there are chapters, you gotta sacrifice it. So no longer is that the case. But not only that, this is really weird on top of that. If Urza Saga gained any abilities, like adding mana, making constructs, then it will retain those abilities even if there is a Harbinger of the Seas in play, or Blood Moon, or anything else that would remove the land's original effects. So that's just, that's absolutely bonkers weird. Why they had to do this, who knows? Will this push Urza Saga over the top? Probably. Who knows? Urza Saga was this really strong card that somehow was kept in check because there was enough interaction. And Harbinger of the Seas was a really big boost to keeping cards like Urza Saga in check, as it was adopted by all the blue decks. Now, if you are familiar with the channel, have been around for a while, I liked Urza Saga. I play tested it in Merfolk a few times. There were only two problems with Urza Saga. The first problem was that I can't play Harbinger of the Seas in that deck because it would kill my own Urza Saga. Problem solved. Rules change has happened. Now problem is solved. Oh, my deck is a little invisible. Here you go. You can see the whole deck now. Second problem was if you had an Urza Saga on the draw and you didn't have Ether Vial, hands sort of sucked. Not gonna lie, I thought they were pretty bad. Anyway, so we're gonna try this. By the way, deck list. This deck list is highly, basically, mostly was made by Dak Faden 7, who got a 5-0. So I am spiritually taking most of the 75 from that 5-0. With just a few adjustments. I have a few more basic lands, as I sort of suspect, but maybe wrongly suspect there should be more Blood Moon. I also just like blue sources, so I can cast things like Sink into Stupor, hard cast Flare of Denial, and Force of Negation. Yeah, but so what do we get advantage of? So when we play with Urza Saga, if you have Ether Vial, go turn 1 Ether Vial, turn 2 Urza Saga. It's awesome. You have this big construct army. You go get a Shadow Spear. Shadow Spear gives a lot of life to Merfolk because we usually don't have access to life gain. We now have life gain. And also some means of getting in damage. Also, by the way, you can also turn off, sorry, not turn off. You could go like turn 1 Urza Saga, turn 2 land, Tide Shaper the Urza Saga, and that's the idea. So by turn 2, it makes constructs. So by turn 2, if we Tide Shape our own Urza Saga, I don't know if this is going to be a really reliable line, you can infinitely keep making constructs. By infinite, I mean for every single turn, we're going to be making constructs because they'll never get to chapter 3. That's like one of the main interactions of playing with Harbinger of the Seas or Blood Moon in an Urza Saga deck. Once you get to chapter 2 and then turn the land off, well, then it never gets to chapter 3, and every single turn we can make a construct for as long as the Tide Shaper or Harbinger of the Seas is in play. What else do we have access to? I'm not super thrilled with playing with all these blue in a deck that's playing with a lot of colorless, but it's not that many. You know, it's not that much colorless, because we're only replacing like basically the Mutavaults. But if I were to build a deck, I might be I'll try this out. I'll try this out. But I'd probably be a little bit more on the colorless side if I try to build something like this. And of course, we have some Vexing Bauble in the sideboard. Hopefully, this interacts well with the black-white Blink deck, the Ketramos deck. I have an Ether Spellbomb we can go get. Pithing Needle looks actually super well positioned. A lot of combo decks requiring activations like Charbelcher, like the Brood Scale. What is it? Blade of the Blood Chief combo deck. You know, still Walking Ballista out there and so on. Remember, you cannot get a Chalice of the Void with Urza Saga. Urza Saga very specifically says search your library for an artifact card with mana cost 0 or 1. That is not mana value. Mana cost and mana value are two different things. So Chalice of the Void has a mana value of 0, but Urza Saga can only get things that have a cost of 0 or 1. And also very specifically, it's got to be 1 generic. So it can't be like it can't be an artifact for 1 blue mana. So you can only get things for one generic or 1 or nothing. Okay, that's the majority of the list. Let's get into our Modern League. Here for round 1, we lost the die roll. We have a hand. I'll keep it. Depending on what we're up against, might be good, might be bad. Having these like mopey hands of like play something turn 1, play something turn 2. Pulling mulligan to 5. Probably a little bit. Our opponent is probably leaning a little bit more on a combo deck. Is this a combo card? Not really. Or it could be a combo card. Okay, we got Mox Opal. Squeezing in that Mox Opal. While the shields are down. We'll get a Mind Spring Merfolk out. So, I would imagine our game versus Urza Saga is just strictly going to be worse now because this Tide Shaper and Harbinger of the Seas doesn't pop it off like it used to. Not like the good old days. It's too bad. Are we going to see a Thought Monitor here? We have 2 artifacts in play. Oh no, but the Mox Opal doesn't make anything. Portable Hole. Okay, so we're up against just very likely Affinity. Pithing Needle. What do you even want to name in advance? Oh, you just want the Affinity down. So you have Opal. Vidalian Hexcatcher, not a bad choice. So, I have nothing to Tide Shaper here, so we're not going to waste this Tide Shaper. I'm just going to play a Master of the Pearl Trident. And if our opponent plays like Thought Monitor, Cannoneer, we'll just Flare of Denial the damn thing instantly. Also, I should still save Tide Shaper for if our opponent plays Urza Saga. Even though it's removable, Urza Saga is still a huge pain in the butt. Yeah, we're going to... This can get out of control. 2 cards. That's a lot of cards. How to play this hand. I don't really want to play Ether Vial. It makes my hand really clunky. Although I don't really have a use for Tishana's Tidebinder yet. No, maybe I'm gonna hold up Tishana's Tidebinder. I'm gonna shock pass. Probably this is gonna look suspicious to our opponent. We just played a Flare of Denial. We could be holding up another Flare of Denial. Oh, I should have countered that. No, actually not really. I'll let that go. We haven't answered this thing. So this is the Cannoneer. Okay, this is Cannoneer. It's got Ward. It's got a bunch of abilities, but I'm going to turn them off right now. Like, this is partially why I really wanted to get this Tishana's Tidebinder online. Whether it be Thought Monitor or Kappa Cannoneer, like, this card can kill us, like, super fast. So now we can go Tide Shaper, the Urza Saga into an Ether Vial. Yeah, we better do this. Okay, there is one advantage here. We're going to get Island Walk, where normally we wouldn't. we don't have Island. If we pop that Urza Saga, we wouldn't have Island Walk. So now we get Island Walk. That's the small edge, the tiny advantages to this new rules change. Now I just hope my opponent bricks. You know, there's a decent chunk of bricks in this deck. Just don't do anything important. Haywire Might. You can not do anything useful with that. I could double block, but I plan on racing you. Our opponent does have access to green mana. Ooh, Shadow Spear is great. Oh, it's actually less great because of the Haywire Might. Okay, so we're just going to play the Master of the Pearl Trident. Get in a good chunk of damage. Yeah, remember, Haywire Might is online because Mox Opal is online. So they are at a virtual 22 life. And I'm going to play the other Ether Vial. I doubt it makes a difference, but maybe we can get our opponent to... maybe we can get our opponent to like crack on this Ether Vial or something. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense though, because they still have the opportunity to block this Master of the Pearl Trident. Oh, mind you, I'm in the Gold League right now. They made a new league on Magic the Gathering Online. I don't know why they've now 3 leagues. I prefer that there were just two. Because there used to be like a long 2019 and under. Group creature has +1/+0 in haste. Sure. So what is this going to be? You're going to put this on Kappa Cannoneer. It's going to be for 5, but still far away. Oh, you don't want to attack? Well, you can't block. What I would do, I think, in my opponent's situation is attack with a Kappa Cannoneer, then move the boots to the Haywire Might so that they can block the Master of the Pearl Trident. So anyway, they made a new gold tier for Modern, where the entry is higher. Ooh, Harbinger of the Seas. They still are empty-handed. Yeah, we're just going to attack for 7. So there's a new gold tier, and in this gold... Oh, can you destroy this? I'm a fool! Okay, this is not the biggest thing in the world. So we lost Island. It's funny, because I could get Island Walk back. So if you block this, I still get in for 4. And we do get Shadow Spear online next turn. Anyway, that feels a little silly, but whatever. It is what it is, and we do have Shadow Spear online by next turn, so we'll gain probably more life than we lose. Emery is awkward but fine. We have Mishra's Bauble, another Urza Saga, but they can get Haywire Might. That does nothing. Do you like to move it back? Or do you like to sit and wait to... Oh, I see, you can haste. Oh, that's clever. Very, very clever opponent. Oh, they get Thought Monitor. That was very clever. Nice move. Okay, 2 more cards. Which means I gotta act fast. Thoughtcast. Opponent is doing the thing. They are affinity-ing. Okay, I'm gonna take 4, but I'm gonna gain 4, I'm gonna gain 5 next turn. I'll take up both my vials. We get another 3-drop. Perfect would be a Tide, just another Tishana's Tidebinder. Flood Pit's Drownder's not bad. Actually, can I win here? Okay, so if I tap this down, this will be... Permanents your opponents lose Hexproof and Indestructible. Not necessary. So what am I trying to do here? Oh, actually, I can tap the Emery at upkeep, force them to make a move with it. I'm attacking for like 1 short, right? This is 5, 8, 9, 10. Put our opponent down to 1. Sucks. What to do? They have to get rid of this Harbinger of the Seas. Okay, pass. They have to get rid of my Master of the Pearl Trident. It's interesting that this Saga still gets 1 chapter counter when it enters the battlefield, even though it has no abilities. I honestly don't know the full nuances of how this Harbinger of the Seas and Urza Saga crap works. Look, it gets... So what, does it even add... So it gets chapter 1 but didn't get the ability? Is that how it works? So it has now 1 chapter with no Saga ability? Is that how this nonsense works? I probably have to watch some YouTube videos about this. Okay, we win game 1 versus Affinity, which is nice, as it's loading. Okay, what do we want? Soul God Lantern might be useful, but what would we be exiling the graveyard for? Just to interact with Emery, which in that case we can just use Pithing Needle on Emery. Whenever a player casts a spell, if no mana was spent to cast it, counter that spell. That sucks. Because they still cast things like Thought Monitor for just not full retail, just less than what they actually cast it for. Consigned to memory is, if I remember, I think I wrote a sideboard guide for Affinity and then found out consigned to memory probably isn't actually good versus Affinity because almost all their cards are blue, like Amory, Thought Monitor, Kappa Cannoneer. It doesn't say counter artifacts. It literally says counter a triggered ability or colorless spell. So you'd have to counter something stupid. So I don't really like consigned to memory here. Subtlety might be okay. Force negation is not okay. Or force negation, I don't remember. There's like a lot of different variations of these decks. Dismember is good. How many other cards do we have here? Chalice of the Void. We're on the draw. If I were on the play, I'd bring some chalices in, just 2, so that you can just throw it on 0 and hopefully wreck your opponent. I don't think I like Hexcatcher. Let's bring in a Pithing Needle. Probably don't want the Soul Guide Lantern. I have a feeling I want Force and Negation. Is there any other spell that's not as good? Flare Denial is very good. Well, I can bring something in. What did I side out? Just 1 Hexcatcher? How many creatures? 26? Actually, Subtlety looks really good. Maybe not really, really, really good, but just good enough. A card I've never actually played with was Springleaf Drum. I know Aspiring Sprite tried to play that in some versions of Merfolk in the past. Anyway, Dak Vaden got a 5-0 with this, so let's try it out. Maybe we can ramp into our Subtlety. Yeah, I don't want to change too much. We'll just submit it like this. I don't have a lot of faith in Hexcatcher because... Well, I have some faith because it still makes the board bigger, but it's hard to counter anything. This hand might be premium, might be a huge stinker. I'm going to keep it. Damn, I wish these weren't such a non-bow together. I'm going to keep this. Okay, this is going to demonstrate the power of Urza Saga if it can, because I have a lot of artifacts in my hand. Our opponent is basically going off. Going off big time. So they'll flip the Tameo for sure. But what can they do from there? Who knows? Why would you do that? Well, I guess they can afford to draw 1 random card. Got a Master of the Pearl Trident, which is borderline useless in this spot. Hopefully our opponent has a little bit more of a dirtling hand than an aggressive hand, because we need the game to carry out dirtily. We need it to be a little slow because this Urza Saga thing isn't gonna like make itself work. Okay, so Mox Opal online can crack it to draw from the clue. Tameo flips. What she does from there, I have no idea. Portal Hole, that's out. That's fine. We have a replacement Ether Vial. There's more where that came from. Opponent opts to bide their time. We'll play Urza Saga. Play Ether Vial again. And play Shadow Spear. Just a taste of things to come for our opponent. Can this grab Sagas? Exile target non-land permanent? Ha! Nope. Okay, Tameo go Burr. But you've only drawn 1 card this turn, so if you crack a clue, that's your 2nd card draw. You have your own Shadow Spear. Maybe Tameo's going to get a little aggro. Fortunately, I do not have a random Merfolk in play to Flare of Denial this stupid thing. Oh, I see. Flip the Tameo that way. So what can it do? Oh, it can ultimate. That's the problem. To the next turn, things are going to get smaller. That's okay. They can get bigger before they get smaller. Just to be warned. We will play this. Pay 3 life. And I guess pass. We could actually get a Pithing Needle and just name the stupid Tameo. When you Pithing Needle, do you have to Pithing Needle the front side or the back side? I don't even know. I'm just gonna let this resolve. My other option is to flash into Flood Pits and then sack my Flare of Denial, but that seems like a little bit much. Our opponent has a lot of cards in hand as it is. It's going to be a Saga slugfest. Sure. What you going to get? Got a Thoughtcast, Spire of Industry. It's pretty crappy. Pretty crappy Emery you got over there. Fortunately, these creatures are going to be pretty big. Pretty big. Only one colorless up. Okay, we're going to go to our turn. Our upkeep. Actually, I guess I don't have to do anything at my upkeep. I can do this at my at my main phase. That's how these sagas work. Sagas are a weird card. Ooh, we got another Urza saga too. We will gladly make... Yeah, I'll make... I think I want to make another one. Sure. And we'll get the Pithing Needle. And we'll name Tameo Seasoned Scholar. Does it hit both sides or just one side? And I get to attack. Probably for a lot next turn. And I shall attack you, opponent. Oh, do I want to attack you? Maybe that's the plan the entire time. Block with Thought Monitor. Not thinking about that one straight. Let's attack anyway. It's going to get a smidge smaller, but there's no good block here or anything like that. Oh, taking the whole damage. Sure. And maybe we can get the Merfolk to get in there and help out. Maybe. If another portable hole is played, probably I'm going to Flood Pits, Emery, and then sack it to Flare of Denial so I can protect the Pithing Needle. Another Emery? That's just weird. Resolves? Is that a mistake? Like, don't you want to activate the first Emery? Oh, you just want to draw more cards. Ah, I see. You want something better. Okay, in response... Clever. Very, very clever. In response, I play Flood Pits Drowner. I will target your Emery. So you have only one choice. Get that bauble or get nothing. That's right. Now you milled 4 cards. Ooh, look at that one. The Kappa Cannoneer. It's delicious, isn't it? I think we're in a pretty good spot here. I got the Flare of Denial as backup. We have the option to play, like... Lord into Harbinger of the Seas over the next few turns. Is this a land? Is it an island? No, it's just an artifact land. Okay, Shadow Spear is active, so may the slugfest begin. Attack for 5, while we are going to attack for a hell lot more. Question is, do I take the time to activate Shadow Spear? I think I'm going to leave this on 2. Or maybe I take it up to 3. Maybe I take it up to 3, play Harbinger of the Seas. And then I can actually swing with that on the following turn. No, but then I can't bring it back down. Okay, I'm just going to leave this on 2. Oh, you know what I could have done, actually? This is not a bad time to play the shadows, like, equip the Shadow Spear to something and just gain a bunch of life. I could have taken this thing up to 3. Oh, I know what to do next turn. Actually, I can take this up to 3 and keep the Urza Saga on the board. I forgot about the combo. I completely forgot. I'm an idiot. Why does this have to cost 2 mana? Okay, yeah. So it was actually a lot better to take this thing up to 3. Then I could have done all this on 1 turn and got in for a good chunk of life. Because now I could... I mean, in theory, or my opponent could... I probably should actually activate the Shadow Spear. Can I kill my opponent here? The danger I face... Okay, I'll play this land. I'll play the Shadow Sphere. We'll equip this to a random creature. The danger I face is that they play like a Kappa Cannoneer, then play Lava Spur Boots, and like something, and I get screwed. That's the danger I face. What's this going to be? Dispatch? If you control 3 or more artifacts, exile that creature. Sure. Okay, these are flyers attacking me in the air. This is not really something I want a Flare of Denial. Okay, I'm just going to let that resolve, I guess. Yeah, it's too bad we can't get this Harbinger of the Season play. Whip Flare. Doesn't this hurt you more than it hurts me? Well, it will do one thing. I won't have a blue creature on the battlefield anymore. That's what's going to suck. I won't have a blue creature on the battlefield for this Flare of Denial. So who wins here? Well, okay, I'm going to let it resolve. Oh, it's non-artifact. I forgot about that. That doesn't hit the Thought Monitor. Well, either way, if I have to cast my Flare of Denial, then I can't deal with the Kappa Cannoneer anyway. So they have an artifact in hand if they have to play this Mox Opal here. Do I need a card from my deck? I don't think so. We're just going to tick the vial up to 3. I'm gonna hold. Oh, gotta hold priority. I'm not sure if I can play Harbinger of the Seas when... Oh, that's a good question. Can I play Harbinger of the Seas when Urza Saga triggers to its 3rd chapter? Does that work? I don't know. Okay, Aether Vial is not what I wanted to see. What I wanted to see was a land, so I can activate Urza Saga and equip Shadow Spear at the same time. That was the worst thing possible. It's funny. I can't remove your Hexproof. I can remove Indestructible, but I can't remove Hexproof. Okay, we're going to concede. We'll move on to game 5. Sorry, game 3. It was a bit close. I think I could play a little bit better. Slightly better. If Harbinger of the Seas is already in play, maybe this game plays out a little differently. Okay, I'm on the play, though, so I can bring in some chalices. We can side out some... I have a lot of creatures in here. I have a lot of creatures. I have 28 creatures. I can shave more creatures. Let's shave... What do I find irrelevant? Sort of like everything. Okay, I'm on the play. Let's take out the subtleties. I hope I just don't have too many cards for Emery. Like, this is all it's just Emery, right? Dismember. And because this Pithing Needle also deals with Emery. I remember, Urza Saga is a pretty reliable creature. In fact, it's many creatures. Beautiful. Beautiful hand. In fact, we might go... will I? No, I think... Okay, I thought I might go turn 1 Urza Saga, go turn 2 Tide Shaper, but that sounds too greedy to me. Oh, I have my stop. Okay, they mulligan to 6 cards, so their hand is not ideal. Although at the same time, this Tide Shaper is not ideal either. Well then. Let's play a Tide Shaper. Am I going to fix my opponent's mana? Is there like any point to this at all? Okay, no, I'm gonna give them a blue. Undo, cast with kicker. I'll give them a blue mana. Because I do need the island walk. And there's not actually a lot of islands in this deck, weirdly enough. And I'll hold on to this Tide Shaper. If we don't draw a land, then I'll Tide Shaper the Urza Saga on Chapter 2. Haywire Might is okay. Well, if they're going to go for this line, I might as well actually activate and play the other Tide Shaper, and we're just going to go on a huge beatdown game. And when Urza Saga has to go off, we'll just get a, what's it called, a Springleaf Drum. I have nothing to play here except the Mind Spring. I might get blown up by Whip Flare, but not really in a position to do anything otherwise. Oh, you have your own Urza Saga. No, they got Whip Flare. All right. Well, now the Springleaf Drum is worthless. It's completely worthless to me. Okay, so we're gonna activate. That worked perfectly terrible. Oh, maybe I should bring in Force and Negation for that. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Maybe I gotta bring in Force and Negation. Okay, so now what am I bringing in? I guess I have to bring in... I can't cast anything. If I get Ether Vial, I will absolutely certainly lose to this Urza Saga. Because I'm too far behind. If I get Pithing Needle for Urza Saga, I might just lose to my opponent just playing cards. But this is like what we see on the board right now. Okay, Pithing Needle. We are not the Urza Saga deck right now. Fate wasn't good to us. It could have been better. And pass. Yeah, this is our 4th turn. So if we drew a land appropriately, we could start making some constructs. Or we should have been making constructs since last turn. And we wouldn't get blown out by Whip Flare nearly as bad. And we'd have a really nice board, too. Our opponent is doing nothing. That's great. So their hand is probably super interactive. Well, where were you last turn? Yeah, like I said, if I got Ether Vial, we would just be dead to this Urza Saga already. No resistance. Oh, another Thoughtcast. This is slightly interesting. It's actually not too late. Because not a lot of 0 cards have been played. There's plenty more where that came from. But still, deck, a land, anytime, please. You gonna portable hole my chalice? What are you gonna take? Yeah, you went for the chalice. I could have countered that portable hole if I had Silvergill Adept in play. And we are lost. It's not gonna do it. Okay, I'm just gonna concede and move on. The only thing I would maybe change for the deck, now that I think about it, is that because we so desperately need to hit the 3rd land with Urza Saga so consistently, that probably this deck needs to be playing with a few more lands to guarantee that the synergy. So this deck is only playing with this deck is playing with 21 lands, but 1 Springleaf Drum, although that may or may not be the same thing. Anyway, that was round 1. We'll move on to round 2. Here for round 2, we won the die roll. We have a 1-lander. We're going to mulligan. We have a 2-lander, and it looks keepable. I'm going to keep. I guess I'll take out the flare. Maybe I take out the sink. Or I take out the Ether Vial and go turn 1 Shaper, turn 2 Lord into another Lord. Okay, we'll just hope. Let's just hope that we're up against a deck that cares about that. A lot of combo decks out there. Let's hope we're up against one of them. Otherwise, usually I don't like starting off with the turn 1 Merfolk of the Pearl Trident. Not a very strong play in Modern usually. Oh god, that's not a good sign. Arid Mesa, the most dangerous land in all of Modern at the moment. At least for us. Usually represents Boros energy. But what's it going to be, opponent? What's it going to be? It's going to be a mountain. Taragavan? Okay. So it's definitely Boros energy. Guess I'm just going to pass. I'm going to try to block this stupid thing. Now, the fortunate thing about Modern right now is that Boros Energy's numbers are going down quite a bit. It's still a very strong deck in Modern, but ever since Is It Prowess came out, it seems to have cannibalized the energy metagame. Like, people have more than one choice when it comes to playing an aggro deck, and a lot of people opt to play the play prowess. Is it prowess because it's super fast? Has maybe a better matchup versus combo decks, certain combo decks at least. I hate all these cards. Also, I can do nothing about it. Tide Shaper. Actually, because of Tide Shaper, we will take the risk and seize this mountain. Because this is usually the cause of all our problems. And if our opponent does not have a follow-up, either removal or land, then they might be a little stuck. The upside is enormous if they have no land here. But I need them to also not have the static prison for either of these cards, because I can't let Ragavan attack. The Tide Shaper is a 3/3, so that's good. If this is going to be a Johnny, that'd be perfect. It is a Johnny. Perfect. They'll gain some life, but I think we have a reasonable route to racing them with our lords. Oh, they do have a land, but just came into play tapped. The red sources online. Surprised they didn't play that first to sort of figure out their options before they wanted to play a Johnny. Opt to do nothing at all. Well, I opt to do something. It's called kick your butt. I still need to dodge a lot of removal. Now I gotta dodge like, what do I have to dodge here? A lot of stuff. This is gonna be another Ajani. That'd be awkward, actually. Ajani number 2. Goblin Bombardment. So you can sack all your stuff. So you can sack Cat. Problem is sack Cat, flip a Johnny, shoot something else. So I'm gonna lose some things anyway. My board is awkward. I really don't want Ragavan to attack, but I mean my opponent has red mana anyway. Do I just sacrifice my master and attack again for 6? No, I can just sacrifice this Hexcatcher. Now, it is going to shrink my master low enough that the Ragavan can get in, but I mean, like, everything's going to die if Goblin Bombardment resolves anyway. Oh, another Guide of Souls, that's just great. It'll make racing this entire situation a lot harder. So everything can attack if they want. Because they can make the Ajani go to this guy. Oh, I see. If they attack with everything, then not everything can go to this guy. Only one. Something would go to this guy, and I could block the other. So they're going to be a little careful with their attack. What does it do? Is it just 2? Yeah, just 2 +1/+1. So this would be an attack for 6. I go to 11. Also, in theory, they can grab something from the top of my deck. No blocks. Ether Vial. Great. I don't want that. Never did. Your opponents can't cast spells during your turn. Fair. Okay, but I don't think I can beat this board. This board has just too many things. Opponent has too many things on the table. There's a lot of stuff. Okay, what are my options here? I can't sit back for too long. So this is going to attack. When it attacks, create 2/2 tap creatures, gains them 4 life. Next turn, how bad can this attack be? I'm going to get hit for... When is it? Okay, when you attack, you may pay 3 mana. Also, whenever this creature attacks... Oh, so they could stack this so that the Voice of Victory resolves first. Get 2 tokens. Get 4 energy. I'm just dead. Like, I can't do anything about any of this. That's how it's going to work, right? And then they just have to put 2 random creatures in the air. Or maybe not 2 random creatures, a 2/1. So this is already in the air. This could go in the air. Maybe Guide of Souls goes in the air. Oh, and then some stuff will squeeze in anyway. And they can still go wide. Like, I think that's how it works. Makes sense to me. It's pretty sad not to have the Urza Saga stuff versus this deck, because this is where I would want it. This is where I want that power. Yeah, so they're stacking it. Voice of Victory resolves first. You get 2 creatures that are attacking. You get 6 triggers. Oh, wait a minute. Why is it 6? I thought it was just 4. Is there something else that gains energy here? Whenever you attack, you may pay 3. Oh, I see. What? Oh no, maybe these are different triggers. This is whenever you attack. Okay, these are the 2 triggers from whenever you. Those are 2 separate triggers. This is going to the skies, and something else is going to go to the skies. Oh, I can block this finally. Hooray. How much damage is this? This is 10. Yeah, it was way too much. I would have to attack with nothing, and I would just probably die anyway. Okay, what do we want? Okay, Pithing Needle to hit a Johnny. Damn, we have no Spreading Seas in this deck. I'm on the play. Also, they've got that Voice of Victory card now. I don't even know how much I can rely playing on my opponent's turn. Take out Hexcatcher. Silver Gill Adept is, like, fine-ish. Oh, I want Force Negation because of Goblin Bombardment and, what's it called? Goblin Bombardment and Fable the Mirror Breaker. Dismember's fine. Anything really big is fine. Is Soul Guide Lantern useful? Just for exiling Flage? Probably not. Shadow Spear is very good. I have no idea if Springleaf Drum is good. Hopefully. Let's just shave a random 1-drop. Or shave... What am I taking out? I guess maybe 1 Wine Spring Merfolk. Does this help? Whenever a player casts a spell, if no mana is spent to cast that spell, counter that spell. No, that doesn't work here. And submit. Okay, keep. I guess we'll go turn 1 Pithing Needle Goblin Bombardment. There we go. Good luck with that. Don't snipe my creatures this time. Or back off. Another Ragavan. This is a bit useful. Okay, we'll go turn to Saga, and then we can Flood Pits Drowner the Ragavan, and maybe we can get our opponent with Harbinger the Seas. If we're lucky. And then we get to keep the Urza Saga at Chapter 2 for the rest of the game. Not with that Arid Mesa in play. Be most comfortable if they get a Plains. Okay, because that cannot kill our Harbinger of the Seas on the following turn. Opponent can't cast spells during your turn? Well, think again. Maybe I do want to play spells on your turn. And we'll play Harbinger. And do nothing. Not going to be blocking with that down. Not going to be blocking with this. Not blocking this, or not going to be attacking into this, not going to be blocking this. Johnny, sure. Okay, time for you to feel the wrath of my... Actually, I may not do anything yet. Maybe we are going to be playing Tide Shaper. We're just going to win this game the old-fashioned way. Because they didn't play a land drop, so hit the plains. Might as well play a land for the turn, especially since it's free. And then the whole goal of Flood Pits is just to block Ragavan. And then slowly over time we will... by the way, I can bounce a Johnny with our Otawara. But then we're going to start making some constructs happen. I mean, I guess I'll get hit for 2 with the Cat Warrior. I will not get hit for 2 with this Ragavan. Voice of Victory can't attack because I can double block it with 4 power in play. Ooh, a sink. Just... It doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense to even play this Urza Saga plan at the moment. Because I just have a lock on my opponent. Okay, so now if they attack with the cat... yeah, we can block. We could block. Okay, we win. Okay, I'm on the draw now. I don't really like this flare. What the hell? Let's get subtlety. I can at least cast subtlety. Classic Merfolk victory. Mana screw the crap out of my opponent, then win. It's basically if Merfolk beats Boros Energy, that's like just how the game plays out 90% of the time. I don't often play a fair game versus Energy and then come out ahead. It just doesn't happen. This hand's a bit poor. So remember, Being on the draw with Urza Saga sucks. Maybe this hand is a bit defensible because I do have Flood Pit's Drowner. I'm just so terrified of my opponent doing anything on turn 1. I play land, do nothing, and then they're just so far ahead. Like, all the 1-drops really smush a strategy like that. Ugh, can this get a whole lot better? I still have Harbinger this season hand, so in theory I could mana screw my opponent by turn 3. Okay, we'll keep. But we have a little bit of praying to do. Maybe we can draw turn 1. Dismember? The Pride or the Guide? I didn't realize they rhymed. The Pride or Guide. It's the Guide. Oh, that was great. I'll take that for sure. I'm thrilled to see an Ether Vial. And there's the Pride. Pride and Guide. Oh, they're on a 1-lander. So that makes a life, they gain a life. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, this hand's great. I have a Subtlety. I can pitch the Sink into Stupor. And, like, basically counter whatever next stupid thing that they play. Yeah, we're just gonna pass. And then when I get Harbinger this season play, I mean, so long as they don't have Static Prison, the hand should be very, very good. What am I going to lock down with my Flood Pit's Drowner? Probably the Oscillate Pride. No! Okay, the good thing about this Flooded Strand is that they want red mana. They have to shock it in play. This cannot get a basic forest. Sorry, basic mountain. Actually, maybe I still hit this Guide. No. Maybe I hit the Pride. Yeah, I locked down the Pride with the Drowner because I can block the Guide, and this thing I can't block this thing. It's got First Strike, and it's got Lifelink. Two bad things in one. I think my opponent is now like really hesitant to crack this land. And by the way, if they want to play patiently, it will be to their demise because we've got Urza Saga in play. Like, we're fine playing a land, making some constructs, popping the Urza Saga, and just saying, go. You figure this game out. Okay, they're really cautious. Oh, they have Static Prison. Disgusting. I can't interact with this. I can't do anything about it. Okay, goodbye, Ether Vial. Beginning of combat. Lockdown Pride. Oh, they're going to get a red source? You going to get greedy? The hell is this? Oh, destroy target enchantment. And this is an enchantment. Okay. I got. Our opponent is playing very well. Okay, so now the Guide can go to the skies. Or actually, the cat can go to the skies. Okay, anything can go to the skies. I assume the counters are going to go to the Guide, though. But then that means there's less counters for the Static Prison. Interestingly enough. I'll take 4. Our turn is probably just going to be play Master the Pearl Trident. Attack for 3. Pass. One interesting thing, I can't sack the Sink into Stupor to the Subtlety anymore. I probably need to get rid of the Tishana's Tidebinder because I desperately need the land to play Harbinger of the Seas next turn. But I can't Subtlety a red card. Oh no, I can Subtlety Flage. I think Flage is the only red creature I can Subtlety. Because I sort of want my opponent to tap out. It's not what I was expecting, but I'll take it. Although when that gets put back on top, that's still something they could play. So are they going to keep... And it's still pretty strong. Well, they put it on the bottom. It's good for me. Still get hoofed for 3. I'm going to shock myself for 3. Actually, I should attack first. Okay, they're already preparing to save their life total. They see it coming. They see the Harbinger of the Seas coming. Oh, and I'm going to get my Static Prison back now. Sorry, I'm going to get my Aether Vial back because Static Prison, there's not enough energy to keep it around. So maybe the Silvergill Adept is going to be on the menu soon. Okay, here's a Johnny. Not... Well, I mean, it's useful. I mean, it gains some life, I guess. Actually, it does a lot of things. I can't block... No, I can block this Pride. I forgot. I can block Pride. Well, there's a lot of things that can be done. I don't know if it's going to be good. Yeah, actually, no, I can block Pride if they want to attack with Pride. Block Pride. The Johnny flips. I can kill a Johnny, and I'm just racing a Guide of Souls in the air. Okay, it's just going to be an attack with Guide of Souls. Because it still needs to be a red permanent in play for a Johnny to really go off. Oh, there was a life gained. Oh no, this thing's going off. The Synergy. Okay, I sort of need a creature then. That is a creature? Oh! What can my opponent attack for? They can attack for... What's the most I can attack for? Okay, I think I have to play Silvergill Adept. Oh, what do I do here? Silvergill Adept, draw. What do I even want to draw? No, wait a minute. Like, my opponent has 3 energy. I'm going to die soon. I actually have to get rid of this. I have to get rid of this Guide of Souls. I need to find Dismember. Dismember? Could use that last turn. Okay, so this Cat Warrior is small. What can I block here? Okay, block. I need to play in a way so it's not technically. I mean, they're probably gonna go for it, but it's not over until they swing for victory. Okay, so I'm just gonna attack like usual. No. Gotta force them to have it. Sorry. I need to make my opponent feel like they're forced to have it. Because if they put the counter... Oh, they can put the counters on anything. Yeah, they can put it on the cat token. Because it still gives +2/+2. And it'll deal the necessary 6 damage to kill me. Another Johnny. I can't play Subtlety because then it would give my opponent perfect information. Oh yeah, now a Johnny can actually like buff everything, right? So there's an alternative way of winning this. Put a counter. But only on the cats. Okay, now what? Basically, you just have to put it on a random creature. Yeah, okay. It was like a free roll the entire time. I concede. All right, we lost 2-1. This match was a lot closer than it looked. Partially because they were slightly mana screwed. I don't know if I could play this game any differently. I like how the game played out for the most part. We were just a little short on life. Anyway, that was round 2. And we're going to move on to round 3. Here for round 3, we lost the die roll. We're on the draw. Hand is very strong, though. We're going to keep. We have Aether Vial and Urza Saga. You know, one thing that didn't cross my mind, and I don't know if this is the case, but if Urza Saga is going to be the new top dog, then maybe more decks are going to be playing around Urza Saga. There's going to be more heat on Urza Saga than ever before. Well, Guide of Souls, we meet again. I only saw you like one match ago. There's a second Guide of Souls. That's just great. And by great, I mean this is terrible. Come on, land. No land. I'm just gonna pass. Actually, hold on. No. I'll actually play Silvergill Adept here, because we'll just flare it away. I should have Mindspring Merfolk. We can also flare that away. It's yeah, it dead. So you can buff up a Guide of Souls if you want. Which it looks like they elect to. And they're a bit mana screwed. But I don't have a Harbinger of the Seas in the works yet. Sink it to Stupor. One of the more painful lands here. Play, shoot, pay 3 life. I mean, you know what? Sometimes I forget I don't have to play the Urza Saga abilities. I can just like go get Shadow Spear and be on my merry way. I do forget about that at times. Another Guide of Souls? Can I beat a third one? I'm gonna play, get 2 energy, spend on 1 creature. Honestly, this sounds miserable. Ugh, I don't want to play against any of this. Three life a turn. No. No. I choose no. I don't want to do it. I don't like that plan. Okay, before you attack, I'm going to Flood Pits this stupid thing. I might even shuffle it away. Okay, let's make some constructs. It's construct time. It's time to get constructive. Okay, I don't have to do anything yet. Keep forgetting. I don't have to do anything. Whoa! Shoot. It's too late. Let's get Shadow Spear, I guess? Springleaf Drum doesn't do anything here. Attack with both these things. Who's the beatdown now, huh? Beating you down. Well, your counters on your Guide of Souls. That's right. You just passed the turn. Probably we're just winning with whatever's on the board over here. This is technically a bazillion power. Okay. Okay, winning game one is good. I like winning game one versus energy. Get the force negations back. Get the pithing needle back. Dump the... What did I dump before? Mind Spring Merfolk. Oh, I don't like Hexcatcher. Bring in Subtlety. Good enough. This is one of those hands. I mean, it could be okay, it could be terrible. On the draw. All right, attack for 1. Oh, I see. You want to attack for 1 just in case I have Dismember. Then play a creature or something turn 2. Yeah, okay. Ajani resolves. Can't do squat about that. Good start, good start. I got another land. It's useless, though. It's the wrong land. Okay, and pass. Well, actually, it's not okay. It's not the it's not a Harbinger of the Seas land, but actually, it is a land that I can use for the purposes of still just making sagas every turn. So that will work out quite well. So okay, playing Flage. It's weird. I'm gonna gain some life. You just want to make something fly? Four turns, huh? You're giving me 4 turns to figure this out. So the thing is, if I flood pits in advance, if I flood pits now, then they'll put the counters on something else. Like if I flood pits Guide of Souls, they'll put the counters on the Cat Warrior. I don't think I have a choice. Counters will go there. Otherwise, I tap this thing down, but then, well, maybe that's better, because that's a much slower clock. It's just so weird to tap down a token, but maybe that was just the right move. I drew Shadow Spear? Okay, how is this game going to play out? Or maybe I want to play Shadow Spear right now. Maybe I do. Use this as like a form of life gain. To race. There we go. Maybe that draw wasn't so bad after all. Another Guide of Souls. Oh, good. A non-creature spell for me to poop on. Arid Mesa is not good, because that can go find a mountain. But here's a good thing. As long as this is attacking, I can't trigger a Johnny. Subtlety is good. But now it becomes a problem. So I can... Okay, what do I want to do with this Urza Saga? I can get a... My biggest problem is I can't do anything with the mana. I could just, float the mana, go get... I could get Pithing Needle and name Arid Mesa. That'd be so weird. I so badly want to get this Harbinger this season play. Okay, so let's... But that doesn't do anything. Oh, do I have to stack these triggers? Okay, search your library. So I guess the best thing is just float, because I'm not forced to do anything here. I can't activate both abilities. Let's figure out our options here. Oh, I guess we're passing our priority, and now our opponent has the decision: do I want to crack this Arid Mesa or not? Okay, they choose no. Soul Guide Lantern. Or my opponent says be right back. It's fine, you can be back whenever you want. Or maybe the correct thing is just get Springleaf Drum so I can actually just cast cards. At the moment, that's just something I can't do. The greedy line versus the not so greedy line. And also, I don't know what's in my opponent's hand. It could be a removal spell. It could be nothing. Is it turn 4? Oh, it could be nothing. Does that mean Soul Guide Lantern is a better card to get? Crack this thing, draw a card. Okay, I think we're just going to get Springleaf Drum. Seems to be the more practical thing to do. And then we could play an Urza Saga, in theory, every single turn from there. I think I'm just going to attack and then play Harbinger of the Seas. Oh, actually, there's a problem. If I attack and they double block, then what do I do? That would be a problem. Oh, that'd be terrible. Well, okay, if they attack and double block, I can tap and make a construct, I guess. And there's also, like, if I could, like, kill one of these things in response, and then that would be a huge blowout. But I need to progressively gain life. Okay, I permanently have Urza Saga online. Permanently. Why would you get this? Or do you have the mountain in your hand? That's just a weird choice to me. Well, they left a card on top, so it must be good. Oh, okay. I think they just had the mountain in their hand the entire time. Okay, this thing dies. Two things are probably going to get bolted up. Yeah, the way the game played out, the mountain was in their hand the entire time. They found the Galvanic Discharge. Well then, I submit defeat. Like, oh no, actually, do I submit defeat? 17, still gaining a lot of life. I'm also gaining life. Okay, maybe I shouldn't give up yet. What can I find now with this card? Okay, let's add a colorless. Let's get Soul Guide Lantern. Ugh, I can't use this colorless mana. When this artifact enters, exile target card from a graveyard. Oh, that's great. I forgot about that ability. I just remember its other ability. And I can sack it to draw a card. That's great too. Let's do that with that colorless mana that I have. That's great too! Well, actually, it's not nearly as great. Do I want to gain some life? Is that better right now? It's probably better. How much mana do I have? I only have 3 mana. Okay, gain 4 life. You're dealing 4 damage. Sure. Okay, let's just weirdly race. Race with life gain. I just need my opponent to like brick a few turns. Brick a few turns and we're good. Because this is just even. This is even Steven. No one's gaining, no one's losing. What can I do with 4 mana now? That's a lot. That's a lot of mana. Because now this can... Actually, now I can play Subtlety and block that stupid thing. Is that worth it? Attack for 4. No, I think it's just better. We just go for the jugular. That seems a lot better. We'll just kill in 2 turns. Okay, so Urza Saga did help us after all. Because we're playing an Urza Saga deck, the Shadow Spear helped us. Big time. Put a Plains in the graveyard so they have a random card on top of their deck. We just need to dodge. Essentially... Oh, we have to dodge a few things, actually. I have this Subtlety in my hand, but then I won't have lethal by next turn. Oh, that is so nasty. That is so nasty. It's like literally the worst thing I need to see here right now. Okay, so they can sack. Okay, they attack for 4. Maybe they'll attack with everything. Attack for 4, hit me for 4, sack. Deal a bunch of damage to a bunch of stuff. They're gonna sack the cat. They're gonna have an enchantment in play. That was so rude. So rude, opponent. Gain a bunch of life. Like, I was good with many other outcomes. Oh, and I'm dead. I'm just dead. Okay. That was a very rude top deck. It was a close game, though. Damn, that was close. Change nothing. Okay, submit. Alright, here's Urza Saga for the millionth time. The biggest our biggest problem is the mana is just too tight. I've had this situation in the past. Even though we have 4 Silvergill Adepts in the deck, it is not helping enough. There probably just needs to be, like, maybe 1 more land. But I certainly like what the Urza Saga deck has for us. We had the, what's it called? The The Shadow Spear made it completely a game. If it wasn't for Shadow Spear, we would have been crushed easily. Super fast. Wouldn't have been an argument, but because there was Shadow Spear in our deck, it actually was a game. Our opponent has a really long think here. It's a very close. It's probably like a really well. There's one of two options. They're double queuing or they're really greedy. I don't think they're double queuing though. They're thinking about a really, really greedy hand on the draw. And when you're on the draw, you always think maybe I can be greedy. Can I be greedy on the draw? After all, I'm drawing an extra card, aren't I? Alright, start off with the sink. I just love bolting myself versus Boros Energy. I love it. I do it all the time. I've had Ether Vial so many times and it's done nothing. It just gets removed every single game. There we go. But do I want it to get removed this time? Maybe not. Maybe we should show this Static Prison a lesson. Because otherwise, what am I using this Force Negation for? Okay, well, thank God we've got our third land. At the very least. This is going to be another Static Prison. It is. Okay. Yeah, resolves. I'm not allowed to have Ether Vial on the battlefield. That's just, it's a rule. Here's a question. If they crack the Windswept Heath, do I Tishana's Tidebinder this? Like, maybe? It looks good. Ugh, I have to. I'm just gonna have to use Urza Saga as like some sort of value land. Really want to make constructs here. What can I tutor for with Urza Saga? I could get Pithing Needle. So if they're on 3 drops like Flage, Seasoned Pyromancer, you're gonna tear this thing? Alright, you tear it apart. Oh, we have no more lands anymore. Well, what if we get Tide Shaper here? Then what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Tide Shaper. Oh, not Tide Shaper. Well, there's I think I'm just best off playing this. Attack for 4, and then we hold up Tishana's Tidebinder for the future. Because they have no land right now. Okay, that's the last of the Static Prison. I shouldn't say that. They have Galvanic Discharge. It will not be the last of the Static Prison. It's not the last of Static Prison. Oh, that's nice. Galvanic Discharge my Sveloon. Might Static Prison this, though. Alright, Ether Vial is back. In a completely irrelevant situation. Oslet Pride, okay. Opponent did not learn from their last mistake. Holding up this marsh flats like this. Okay, we're just going to attack with both because I do have a Tide Shaper here to block the Oscillate Pride if necessary. Looks like it's just going to be an easy win. That's right. You have to do that on your main phase. My opponent goes like, no! Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on me again. Alright, we won one. Oh, these matches have been close. Although, you know, these were... The Tasha's Tidebinder thing was a bit of an unforced error. Although, I mean, I don't know what's in their hand. Maybe they have... Well, they obviously don't have removal if they had removal. Or maybe they did have removal. Or they don't have removal. I don't know what they have. Alright, we won... we finally won one. And it's up against Boros Energy. These matches have been close. Thanks to... Did Urza Saga do anything? It ate a Wear and Tear. It's forcing our opponents to side these cards in. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. Anyway, that was round 3. Let's move on to round 4. Round 4, we won the die roll. We have a hand. I'm going to keep it. Probably turn 1 Shadow Spirit, turn 2 Urza Saga, pass, and then surprise them with a Flood Pits Drowner. Surprise! I don't want to play Guide of Souls because I want to be able to eat up some important card. Ugh, I hope this is not going to be another game where I just don't draw another land. But we can always get that Springleaf Drum. Okay, we'll go to our upkeep and then Flood Pits the Tameo. Tameo have been Flood Pitsed. Unless you have a counterspell. Nope. You do not. Grexis. That's a Grexis control deck. I know Corey Burkhart did very well in the Spotlight series with a Grixis control deck, although I'm not really didn't really pay attention to what the list looked like exactly. I believe it had Tameo though. Yeah, I like. What's the point of this card if we cannot realistically play our cards off this damn thing? Like, if we could make constructs here, this would be great. This is going to be terrible. Okay, so Flood Pits gets sniped off. And then... Does it change if I play Flood Pits now? No, right? It just gets another stun counter. And I say that because I sort of want to get Flood Pits in play before my opponent can start counterspelling my cards. Oh, Orcish Bowmasters, the bane of my existence. Okay, we need to float. We're gonna float some mana. Let's go get a Springleaf Drum. Maybe, yes, you know what? Ether Vial was just better. I'm just stupid. Okay, this is a wizard, which means I'm super vulnerable to a lot of stuff. Okay, I'm going to dismember this. My opponent says, in response. I have a response. If it's, was it Wizard's Lightning? No, not Wizard's Lightning. Flame of Anor? I'll just concede. I'm just too far behind here. The plan! The plan is Urza Saga makes constructs. That plan is so damn hard. Yeah, okay, I'll just concede. It's fine. I'm good. I'm good. I'm not coming back from this. Not easily. Okay, what do we want? We actually do want consigned to memory just to deal with the stupid Bowmaster trigger. I don't know what else they have as a win condition. We might want subtlety for a Murktide. I don't remember what the win conditions are in this deck. We definitely want Dismember. Hexcatcher is gonna go. We'll dump some Flood Pits. I can keep Silver Gill Adept, that's fine. We want some counter spells. Shadow Spear is still fine. Soul Guide Lantern should be okay. Springleaf Drum might be worth less. It just might be worth less in this matchup, as we're not in a super rush to get things in play. What else do I have? I have a sideboard of cards. I sort of want Subtlety in here. I just don't know what to take out. I'm going to keep, or I'm just going to ship it here. This hand is fine. I can go turn 2 Silver Gill Adept into, like, potentially counter something. Even hitting a Bowmasters is okay. I guess I'll just throw another Silver Gill Adept into an Ether Vial. This game's playing out so terrible. Delightfully terrible. Delightfully terrible. Let's play Ottawa to keep our options open. I'll attack with the Silver Gill Adept. I assume there's going to be a Bowmasters here, but maybe not. Okay, if there's not, and I'm not in big danger of getting hit by a counter spell. I mean, I could just pass. I sort of want the Sveilun in play, though. I could theoretically try to Tishana's Tidebinder the Tameo next turn. Can even try to Tishana's Tidebinder this. Sure. And we'll save the Silver Gill Adept for a sacrifice later. And now if I get Sveilun in play, she will be indestructible. Indestructible. Spell Snare hits the graveyard. Oh, this deck can't play Flage. No, sorry. I was never thinking of Flage. I was thinking of Murktide. Sink into Stupor. Okay, I'll play this. Hopefully there's no counterspell. I suspect there's another Bowmasters. And if there is, I sort of want to know about it now. Okay, there is another Bowmasters. And I think it's just going to pick this thing off. And I'm going to sacrifice my Tishana's Tidebinder in the future. Oh, but like none of this works. Like Sveilun sort of sucks on this board for as long as Bowmasters is on this board. Huh. 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 But one Bowmasters is disabled by the Tishana's Tidebinder. Well, this is what this was for. That was its destiny. But now my Svelun really can't attack. Yeah, this didn't work out the way I wanted it to. So what was the best play? Well, I couldn't flare the Bowmasters. This is interesting. This is very interesting. This at least disables red mana. Okay. Okay. Fatal Push also sort of offline. Unless they start recklessly attacking with the Bowmasters and Orc Army. Alright, they're going to start drawing cards. Tamio going to do some work now. Oh, yeah, you can still trigger this. I'm silly. This would honestly not help me very much anyway. So it's whenever a creature enters the battlefield and whenever an opponent draws a card except the first one they draw in each of their draw steps. So what, if I draw this on my opponent's turn, I still trigger this stupid thing. Damn you, Bowmaster. Well, I can counter one of them. Okay, I'm just gonna pass. I need some good old-fashioned Merfolk here. Good old-fashioned, like, Lord of Atlantis. And so on. Lord of Atlantis and friends. Okay, draw a card. Again with these fatal pushes. Okay, I'm just gonna concede. This did not go my way. Oh, this game was terrible. It was a massacre. It was a complete massacre. The Bowmasters killed me. This deck is, because we're playing with a lot of these colorless 1 toughness creatures, this deck will definitely be weaker to Bowmasters. The way I would adjust this deck a little bit would be to just have means of killing or dealing with Bowmasters a little bit better, like, what's it called? Stern Scolding. I don't know if there's enough room in the sideboard for Stern Scolding, but maybe it's more important than subtlety. Okay, that was round 4. Can't remember how game 1 played out. Game 2 played out terrible. Just absolutely terrible. This was as bad as it could possibly be. And game... I can't remember what happened game 1. Can't remember if it was close or we just got destroyed. Probably destroyed. Okay, well, we'll move on to round 5. Round 5, we lost the die roll, and I think this hand is terrible. We go turn 1 Soul Guide Lantern, turn 2... Oh, actually, okay. Well, we don't have anything to really do with this hand. Turn 1, it could be Springleaf Drum. Turn 2, Hexcatcher into Soul Guide Lantern. Like, there's no beef to this hand, so I'm gonna mulligan. This hand has plenty of beef. I'm gonna keep this, and I suppose we're gonna dump. I think I'm gonna dump the Ether Vial. No! Oh, cancel. I have 2 Ottawaras. This hand is still pretty good. I'm gonna dump an Ottawara. Whew. I'm glad they gave me a second chance. 2 Ottawara hand? Oh, that was terrible. It's very dangerous. Wooded Foothills. Into Mountain. Into Dragon's Rage Channeler. Wow, actually the Soul Guide Lantern actually might play a part in this game. Because it can shrink the Dragon Rage Channeler a little bit. Actually by a lot. But what better way to shrink it than to kill it? That would also work. What am I? Okay, I thought it was up against Is It Prowess, but they kept playing non-blue fetch lands, and I started getting suspicious. Corey Steelcutter. That's bad. That's very bad news for me. Right off the bat. Mishra's Bobble's online. I'm going to take a bunch of damage from my Dismember too. All this on turn 2. Lava Dart. Can it get worse? Can it get worse, opponent? You can hit me for a total of... You can hit me for a boatload of damage, that's for sure. Okay, this is one of our other dreaded matchups. Another Ether Vial. Well, that's just great. Not. Okay, let's stem some stem the bleeding. By stem the bleeding, I mean let's bleed some more so we can bleed a little less in the future. And pass. Super hyper aggro deck on the play versus clunky deck on the draw. Pretty much a recipe for disaster. You know, it just dawned on me. Probably this deck should play with Chalice of the Void in the main. I should look and investigate how many matchups where Chalice of the Void would be fine. Like, Prowess is a matchup. Like, I don't love Chalice of the Void versus Energy, but it's fine. It can be good, especially if you can like support it with some bounce. What else? Because you can't find it, but it's like it's an extra artifact to just support the strategy overall with Urza Saga, and also Chalice just works very well with the deck. Period. Okay, let's bring in Vexing Bauble is probably okay. Vexing Bauble looks great actually. Because Vexing Bauble says, whenever a player casts a spell, if no mana was spent to cast it, counter it. So it's going to counter Mutagenic Growth. It can counter Flashback Lava Dart. Now, of course, they're still going to get the triggers, but still less value. Hit Mishra's Bauble. So he hits a good chunk of things. Springleaf Drum, I don't think I want. Soul Guide Lantern might be good. Bring in Force of Negation. I definitely need to take out Hexcatcher. One toughness creatures really suck here. Aether Spell Bomb might be okay. Oh, Chalice. Definitely need Chalice. Oh, then we have to shave a lot of the 1-drops. Okay, we'll take out Soul Guide Lantern. Take out 1 Aether Vial. Maybe 1 Spell Bomb. To make room for this beast! Harbinger of the Seas is so-so. It's so-so. Mindspring Merfolk is a 1-drop. Okay, I'm at 60. Fine. Hand is good. Good enough for me, at least. Now, we can still get totally blasted, even if we get a Chalice on 1. Let me just say that, but it's not bad. It's not bad. Better to have Chalice on 1 than not have Chalice on 1. Oh, this is great. And this just plays into what I was saying earlier. Oops, well, I can't add mana with this thing yet. What am I doing? There's something on the stack here. Okay, maybe we can now race, because these constructs are going to get super big. And when they get equipped with Shadow Spear, hopefully that gains us enough life to compensate what we're going to lose from either Corey Steelcutter or a Slickshot Show-Off. One of those two. Those cards are useless. Well, it's useful enough in as far as trying to pump up the Dragon Rage Chandler. They left a card on top, and they're going to draw it. I suspect it's a 2-drop. It's the Steel Cutter. Another mutagenic growth hits the bin. They're not attacking for anything here. It's good news for us. I guess we're going to keep our Otawara. And now pass the turn. Do I have anything to deal with Corey Steelcutter post resolves? What is it? Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, crit a 1/1. Oh, there's the first one. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay. Discarding Slick Shot Show Off. That's like a sign of strength. Oh, they can't play a second spell yet. Okay, let's see if we can get ahead on the board as much as we can. While we can. Silvergill. Yeah, I'm just gonna make a huge board. Then on a future turn, we can maybe bounce a token or something. Vexing Bauble. Whenever a player casts a spell, if no mana was spent to cast it, counter it. Versus getting... So how many cards can I hit with Vexing Bauble? Just Mishra's Bauble, I think. I think it's just Mishra's Bauble. So I might as well get the Ether Vial. And also, Vexing Bauble might shut off my Flare of Denial. Okay, we'll attack for 5. Nice clean 5 damage. Put Sync into play. Not take damage. Then on next turn, maybe play Silvergill Adept and Master. Or maybe Silvergill Adept and equip Shadow Spear? They're also in a spot where if they get Dragon Rage Chandler big enough, they have to attack with it. Can't even block. Ah! The Vexing Bauble! Could have dealt with this. Alright, it's time to throw everything into the furnace. How big can you make these things? Only affects the second one, though. That's right, you have to attack. You don't have a choice. Well, I got a land, so if you play 2 spells, you buff these up a few times. I can bounce 1 with Otawara. Is that good enough? I hope that's good enough. And then you're going to start running out of spells. I'm just going to attack with both of these. It demands a lot of cards are going to be played this turn. And I'm hoping I can completely blow my opponent out here. Oh, they have 2 lava darts? You're going to have to sacrifice another lava dart. So the originals, I believe, are 3... Oh, the originals, no, they're going to be 3 3s. The new ones are going to be 2 2s. Some giant block is going to be had here. I wonder, is it worth it to just... No, I should keep one of these alive. Yeah, I should keep one construct alive. At least to equip with Shadow Spear and attack with it next turn. See, next turn, I can play Silvergill Adept, Vial in a Master of the Pearl Trident, equip the Shadow Spear, and have an even nicer attack. And I'm hoping, like, most of my opponent's board is just going to be wiped out here. They would need to play 2 more spells to grow this to... If this becomes a 4-4, then everything trades. Well, almost everything trades. Wow, they're going to sack their last land. You're crazy! You're crazy, opponent! This is the definition of all in. Is there another spell to be played? 2 Mutagenic Growths have already been played. Okay. Do we go to damage? I want all the damage to be put on the Quarry Steel Cutter one, right? Is that how I want to do it? Is that how the maths? Okay, what's the logic here? I don't... Curved creature gets +1/+1, has trample and haste. Whenever you cast your second spell, each turn create a 1/1. Yeah, okay, so this thing gets buffed up by... Just put all the damage on this stupid thing. And pass the turn. Another mountain. Another Silvergill Adept. Okay, let's see what we draw. If we draw anything relevant. Actually, hold on, cancel. I should just file this in. I drew a Lord of Atlantis. Okay, let's equip. Okay, we saw enough. Well, you can't beat this? Okay, the last game. The last round. On the draw versus absolute bonkers mayhem. I might want Subtlety on the draw. Might want it more than Flare of the Denial on the draw. So that I can bounce... Or like Subtlety some creature while we get Chalice going on. I think that's it. Again, consigned to memory hits colorless cards, not red artifacts. Does not hit artifacts, even though it feels like it does. Interesting. Very interesting. I will keep this. Probably I want to get rid of this thing immediately. If they put it back on top, then so be it. They put it back on top. Sometimes they put it on the bottom, though. Okay, they put it back on top. Fine, fair. Oops, no, don't play that yet. We might need it. Yeah, I'm gonna play land. I almost played that Sink into Stupor. Aha! You didn't see the second one now, did you? No, you didn't. They never see the second one. This is such bad card disadvantage. If they're on a one-lander, though, this is great. They might put it on the bottom now thinking I have Chalice. Like, this is such a greedy play. I mean, this is the greediest of greediest plays. But if they're on a one-lander, they might be like, well, I have no choice. I have to go down this route. It's also my own, like, creature. Yeah, they put it on top. Dragon Rage Chandler will be back. They're playing Thundering Falls. I'm assuming they're going to keep that thing on top. That was awkward. Okay, I need another land for this Urza's. Oh, yes! Yes! Sounds great now. This hand is great. Do I play... I probably should just save the Saga Chalice of the Void for 2. Yeah, I can play the second Chalice on 2. No! Okay, that could kill me. Okay, what can we do about this? Constructs and life gain. That's what we can do about this. I think I'm still saving the second Chalice for 2. I guess I'm going to get another Thundering Falls. Oh, Sacred Foundry. What's that for? What is that for, opponent? What do you get that for? Okay, their hand is bad, though. It's supremely terrible. Because they have now 3 cards in hand. Well, that Tide Shaper is useless. Saga and then pass, and we're just gonna start making. Well, we're gonna make 1 construct, and then on the next turn we're going to think about it. Ooh, Quarry Steel Cutter. Yeah, that's why I wanted the Chalice on 2, so I could deal with Quarry in the future. All right. Prowess Online. So they're attacking because they know they can pump this thing up. Do I care? Partially, yes. So if you could play... so if you could play 2 more spells, this is worth 7, 11 damage. Yeah, I can take that. It's fine. Master of the Pearl Trident. We will, I guess, float a mana first. Doesn't matter. I guess I float because I can still activate this other Saga. So we crack this thing, get Shadow Spear 100%. Make another construct. I guess play Chalice on 0, because I'm not this Chalice on whatever dream is dead. And attack for 5. And the next turn we'll equip our construct with something else. Or we can equip the construct. So fortunately, because these sagas, the chapter goes up at our main phase, we can float it for mana and use that mana to equip the Shadow Spear. Well, that's always desperation. Fire Outlet is always a desperation play. Cracking at main phase, not a sign of strength, sign of weakness. I'm wondering, is there just a world we can just win with this deck, but without the Island Walk Lords like Tamio, Emery, and friends? And we just have a nice, like, and we can still play Tashana's Tidebinder, Silvergill Adapt, Ether Vial, and so on. Like, is there a world we can live like that? Okay. Opponent did nothing. This is going to trigger. We're going to float the mana. We're going to go get a goodie. Might as well get Ether Vial. Put our Tide Shaper in play or something. Okay, Dragon Race Chandler's not in hand anymore. So 3 cards can be played. 3 cards can be played. A token can be made. And the Monk can get as big as a 5/5. No, sorry. The Corey Steelcutter would move somewhere else. Yeah, I can attack with both. This does not look like it has any consequence. Or does it? Is there a world I get screwed over here? Okay, I'm attacking for lethal, so some trump blocks have to happen. I'm going to gain 7 life. Only 2 creatures can... Okay, 2 creatures can be played, but if they don't block, 1 has to block. Okay. Okay, I don't know if this is smart. I'm obviously not thinking of the math properly here. Uh-oh, there's another 2-mana card. No! Okay, I'm going to die now, aren't I? I'm going to die a horrible death. That was a good draw. Interestingly, it does not hit the Shadow Spear. Okay. Your move, opponent. Your move. Can you kill me here? Unfortunately, my Ether Vial is not at 1. I cannot flash in a Tide Shaper to save my butt here. Well, they're thinking very long. Which usually means one of 2 things. It's really close to killing me, or they're in trouble. But with 3 cards in hand, I bet it's like really close. I can't interact with the board, so they can do whatever they want here. Another 2-mana card? Another Slick Shot show off? What the hell? is going to do a lot of damage. At the very least. So this is 6. 6, 10. So I go to 1. Assuming there's no other spell here. Yeah, it was close. It was the close line. Well, anyway, I can still die very easily. Okay, they're going to be a little careful. I'm going to need to gain the life, though. I bet I desperately need to gain the life. So I can gain 6, go to 9. That's, like, slightly healthy. Damn, I can't play the second Chalice. Okay, we're going to equip for 2, because I have to. Can't play Chalice on 0 because it'll get countered by my other Chalice on 0. Okay, I gain 6. So if my opponent has 2 spells, I'm screwed. If they have 1 spell, I'm fine. Fire Outlet, that is not it. They probably have a land in hand. The way they're acting. If they have a land in hand, I guess we win. Mishra's Bauble. That's an interesting one. But they do have to go all out here, and we can flash in our Tide Shaper. Oh, they did have another spell in hand. Oh, we still lose, despite everything. Good games. This is game 3, right? I think this is game 3. Two subtleties. I played 2 subtleties on their 1-drop, and they still had a bunch of 5. They still had too many 2-drops for us. Well, hey, I planned on playing a Chalice on 2, but we never got another land for that. Well, we got. I wouldn't say we. So here's the thing. Here's the weird thing. We did not get crushed. We went. Okay, so we got. We went 1-4. But almost all the matches were really close. Almost all the matches were really close. Now, I don't know how I would change this deck. Yeah, it's hard to tell how I personally would change this deck. I might lean it to be like a little bit more. Like, honestly, I don't really like the Island Walk Lord plan. Although, to be honest, there's like a lot of games where we just needed that plan, where we just needed like we needed to get Island Walk down and online. The whole Urza Saga would have won us so many games if we could just curve into the Urza Saga, and it was just so hard. It was so frustrating to like play turn 2 Urza Saga, turn 3 no land, turn 4 no land. Well, okay, then we're just searching for, you know, like one of these random cards. Soul Guide Lantern, I didn't feel a whole lot of value to that card. I'd probably put in the sideboard. Springleaf Drum, I'm open to keeping this thing around. Yeah, I don't know what this thing what needs to change here, but definitely it felt like it. Oh, another thing, I don't think I like these cards like Flare of Denial. I might not even play. I might just shove all these free spells into the sideboard and just play with mana. Maybe even having Chalice in the main deck. That might be cool. Because even if Chalice is bad in the matchup, if it pumps up the constructs, then that's a bonus, and I think it would be worthwhile. So I would definitely experiment with having Chalice in the main deck, even though, well, it might be a non-bow with some of these cards. But remember, you can still tutor them back onto the battlefield. But, you know, it's an idea. It's an idea I would be willing to explore. Well, what do you guys think? I'm sure a lot of you just don't want to buy Urza Saga. I like this card. There's like, even in that last match, we would be crushed. We would have just, even with the Chalices in play, we would have just been destroyed if we weren't able to pull off the Shadow Spear. Like, Shadow Spear gives the deck a lot of life. You know, you could argue maybe we should be playing with Shadow Spear even without Urza Saga. Maybe this is just randomly a card we should be playing with in Merfolk, period. But in combination with Urza Saga, it's like a lot better because you can tutor it out. Yeah, Shadow Spear is actually the life gain. Man, life gain rules. We usually don't have access to life gain. Maybe we should just be playing this just in general. Okay, anyway, that was the league for today. I hope you liked it. I enjoyed it. I think the matches were really close. I just think the deck needs to be slimmed down somehow, some way, while still interacting, like getting rid of... Yeah, I really don't know what's supposed to be done. I think Flare Denial is just not the card for this deck. I would be leaning harder on Subtlety and Force of Negation and other counter spells to deal with everything else. And I think I still like Hexcatcher overall, although I didn't... Metagame. Well, by the way, we phrased 2 Boros Energy decks and a Prowess deck. So we had like a really bad run of matchups, and it was still like really close. That actually shows the power of this deck. All right. Anyway, take care, Fish Fam. I'll see you next time.